This tiny little creature, under the blazing summer sun, he's struggling to move forward, his tiny body trembling from hunger. Weak and exhausted, he collapses onto the ground, but just then, a delicious aroma floats through the air from afar. The greedy little fellow instantly perks up, his keen nose twitching as he quickly locates the source of the mouth-watering scent. Drooling uncontrollably, he dashes toward the direction of the food. Carefully poking his little head out, he spots a plate of crispy fried shrimp on the table. The aroma is irresistible, and his mouth floods with saliva. Once he notices the chef stepping away, he immediately scurries under the table, stretches out a small tentacle to grab hold of the edge, and swiftly climbs up. The moment he sees the tempting food, he rushes forward, only to be suddenly grabbed by a child. Of course, the little guy fights back with all his might, using his tentacle to sting the boy's hand, but in the struggle, he falls onto a scorching hot iron plate, yelping and darting around in pain. Seeing the little guy disappear, the boy runs out in a hurry to search for him. But right after they leave, the little creature sneaks back onto the table, grabs the delicious fried shrimp, and is just about to take a bite when a shadow appears behind him. As he turns around, he sees a girl reaching out to grab him. Terrified, he clutches the shrimp tightly and bolts from the scene like a panicked thief, while the girl chases after him like she's swatting at a fly, determined not to let this gluttonous little rascal get away. Luckily, the little guy's movements are lightning fast. Agile and clever, he dodges the girl's every attempt, weaving through obstacles with ease as she charges after him like a rampaging rider. But soon, their chase turns chaotic, knocking things over and leaving destruction in their wake until the little guy gets cornered against a wall with no room to escape. Just when he thinks it's the end for him, a beam of white light suddenly shines down from above. As he looks up, he sees the shrimp in his hand start glowing. It's turning into something divine. The shrimp speaks to him, and the little guy gulps it down in one big bite. Under the stunned gazes of everyone around, his body begins to grow bigger and bigger until it's bursting through the house, smashing walls apart. And so the first step in the invasion of Earth begins, targeting the very girl who just tried to catch him. This Squid girl, who claimed to be invading Earth, now finds herself pinned to the ground by a high school girl and ends up becoming a part-time worker. So, what exactly happened here? It all started when the Squid girl arrived at a seaside restaurant called Sea House, announcing boldly that she had come to invade Earth, with this very restaurant as her first base. The surrounding customers stared blankly at her. Was this girl joking? Ryuko, a tough-looking girl, gestured where she came from, but the Squid girl replied righteously that she really had come to invade Earth, and this restaurant would be her starting point. Ryuko asked why she wanted to invade. Hiro appeared and handed her a tray of noodles, asking her to deliver it to a customer. Without hesitation, the sweet and naive Squid girl took the tray and happily delivered it. But once she started, she couldn't stop. A flood of different orders overwhelmed her and made her dizzy. Ryuko dragged her outside again and told her bluntly that she couldn't even manage 30 people, let alone Earth's 6.4 billion humans. The Squid girl was stunned by that number. At that moment, a mosquito flew to her nose and she wiggled her head, distorted with fury, and pinned the Squid girl to the ground, scolding her for destroying the restaurant wall. "You're staying to work off the damage you caused." And just like that, the Squid girl was subdued by the high schooler Ryuko and forced into a part-time job. Would you like a fresh plate of Squid Ink noodles? On a rainy day, with no customers in sight, the Squid girl sat there in a daze. Suddenly, she noticed a long-haired woman nearby. "Who's that?" she asked. Ryuko explained, "That's our eldest sister." Finally, a normal person. Chihiro asked the Squid girl to come help her with something, but just as she did, the Squid girl accidentally sprayed black ink all over her. Calm as ever, Chihiro even tasted it and calmly said, "Yup, that's ink," before heading off to wash her hair, reminding Ryuko not to bully the Squid girl. The Squid girl was moved to tears again, thinking how gentle Chihiro was, the complete opposite of Ryuko. As she stared at the rainy weather, her tiny eyes rolled with thoughts. With only a few people around, the gentle Chihiro, the obedient little brother named Xiao Wu, and the slightly troublesome Ryuko. This was clearly the perfect chance to seize the place. A sly smile crept across her face, just of tentacles around Ryuko. At that moment, Xiao Wu also came running over, and without wasting full sight, kneeling on the floor, bowing over and over again to apologize. A while later, Chihiro placed a bowl of pasta in front of her and asked her to spray some ink. Boasting without a hint of shame, the little girl declared, "This little bit of ink? I can give you as much as you want." And just like that, a special Squid ink pasta was born. Ryuko looked at the tasted way better than expected. From that day on, Sea House had a new signature dish, though it used up a lot of ink and made life in the kitchen hard for the poor Squid girl. What's funny is, this same Squid girl who always talked about invading Earth didn't even know what a birthday was. One day, a boy at Sea House was having a birthday party. As the Squid girl poked at the cake in confusion, she asked what kind of dish it was. Chihiro explained it was a birthday cake, a treat people get every year to celebrate the day they were born. Instantly intrigued, the Squid girl declared that it was her birthday too and insisted insisted she wanted cake as well. Of course, Ryuko didn't agree, but the Squid Girl threw a fit and made such a scene that gentle Chihiro had no choice but to promise her a celebration. By evening, Ryuko and the others had brought all kinds of birthday supplies. The Squid Girl, clueless about everything, kept fiddling with every decoration in sight. Watching her mess around, Ryuko finally had enough and locked her in a room. The Squid Girl was puzzled. Ryuko told her that birthday girls didn't have to do any work and should just wait quietly inside. The naive Squid Girl, Swing, who believed herself to be a great conqueror, accepted that servants should indeed do all the grunt work. But when she overheard Ryuko and the others talking outside, her thoughts spiraled. She suspected they were plotting against her. Just then, Ryuko opened the door and said everything was ready. The Squid Girl nervously peeked her head out, and seeing that they were genuinely throwing a party for her, she beamed with joy. Since no one knew her age, Ryuko inserted 2 candles, based on what she guessed matched her intelligence. The Squid Girl wasn't happy with that, snatched the candles, and stuck the entire cake full of them. Then came the moment to blow them out. She puffed her cheeks and blew hard. Not a single candle went out. She tried again, still nothing. Embarrassed, she blew again and again until she fainted from lack of oxygen. When she woke up, she puffed her cheeks again and gave it one last try. Finally, the awkward moment passed, and everyone moved on to playing with fireworks. The Squid Girl was the happiest of all, sticking sparklers into every tentacle she had. Just as she was enjoying herself, a firework dropped onto the road. Thankfully, Oolong saved the day, pulling her away from danger. But of course, the Squid Girl quickly forgot the fear and went right back to playing without a care in the world. Watching the city's fireworks light up the sky, she felt pure joy and decided then and there she'd celebrate her birthday every month. But what's going on here? The Squid Girl, who was supposed to be invading Earth, was now wearing a collar, being trained like a pet dog. One day, Xiao Miao brought her puppy to play with Ryuko. Curious as always, the Squid Girl followed them out. Her awkward posture caught everyone's attention as she asked what kind of creature this was. Before anyone could answer, the puppy chomped down on one of her tentacles, making her scream in pain. But Ryuko didn't show any sympathy. Instead, she warned the puppy, "Careful, eating squid might upset your stomach." That made the Squid Girl furious. How could the dog bite her and still get more attention than her? When Ryuko said, "The puppy is way cuter than you," the Squid Girl exploded with jealousy and demanded equal treatment. Of course, kind Chihiro agreed to her wish. And so, the hilarious scene began. The Squid Girl wearing a collar, being trained like a puppy. It was her hard-earned fight for fair treatment. The next day, when Ryuko came to play with Xiao Miao, again, the Squid Girl eagerly tagged along. While Ryuko petted the puppy, Xiao Miao hugged the Squid Girl tightly, calling her adorable nonstop. Apparently, she had been smitten by the Squid Girl's cuteness since yesterday, and even claimed, "This must be love." Ryuko, unimpressed, muttered, "You're just a weirdo." Later, when it was time to walk the puppy, Xiao Miao had to stay home, so Ryuko took the puppy instead. The Squid Girl, sitting in the cozy room, started thinking about her invasion again. Maybe starting right here wouldn't be so bad. She began investigating and found a Squid Girl photo album on the desk. As she opened it, she saw that every single photo was of herself. A cold sweat broke out on her back. From behind her, Xiao Miao asked, "Can I add more to my collection?" The Squid Girl couldn't believe it. She was the one being invaded. Looking at the maid-themed photos of herself, she had to admit she did look kinda cute. Meanwhile, Ryuko suddenly remembered that leaving the Squid Girl alone at Xiao Miao's house might be dangerous. She rushed back in a panic, but by then, do you believe in light? Whether you do or not, the Squid Girl certainly believes squids can shine like actual twinkling stars. That night, everyone from Sea House went on a wild adventure with their strongest member, Chihiro, absent. Oolong was made the group's bodyguard. Xiao Miao insisted on joining, to the moment she heard the Squid Girl was coming. In the pitch-dark surroundings, Oolong felt like he was letting down his 8-pack abs by being scared, especially watching the fearless Squid Girl walking confidently at the front, while Xiao Miao silently wondered how to stick close, thinking the Squid Girl would be scared and run into her arms for protection. Xiao Miao. Instead, before she could say anything, they gently saw that the spirits were guiding her safely out of the forest. She waved goodbye to them and returned to Sea House, while the rest of the gang was still debating the next day about whether ghosts were real. Now, take a good look. Oolong noticed in time and saved the day. Ryuko scolded the Squid Girl a bit but didn't say much more. That incident motivated Xiao Wu to finally learn how to swim. If something like that happened again, he'd be in real danger. So the sisters asked Oolong to teach. Wu struggled to hold his breath for even a minute, tired of her antics, ignored her, and continued patiently, teaching Xiao Wu how to breathe rhythmically. Tried it and ended up flailing clumsily in the water, her limbs completely uncoordinated. Her pitiful doggy paddle form made everyone burst into laughter. Embarrassed, her face turned bright red as she ran off, but the sting of sharks, crocodiles, and one mysterious giant yellowfish she couldn't even. Talking with her, jealousy instantly flared up. After watching the Squid Girl chat with an old lady and then move on, Xiao Miao secretly followed her into a store. Inside, the shelves were stacked with all kinds of shrimp, and the Squid Girl's eyes lit up like stars. Her little satisfied face, Xiao Miao came up with a plan. When they returned to Sea House, the Squid Girl couldn't wait to cook all the shrimp she had bought. As the Squid Girl was about to dig her, waving her arms in protest, the Squid Girl shouted that it was unfair to compare her with a dog, and added that if there's delicious food, one shouldn't hold back. Just smack the dog away and eat. But just as she was about to eat, a familiar and terrifying softly, Chihiro reminded her that she couldn't eat until he gave permission. Even Ryuko couldn't help but complain that her big brother was actually terrifying with his calm authority. Finally, after fish being delivered, it was from Xiao. Inflated her excitement instantly. She sat there in silence, and all that was left was the big box abandoned beside the trash pile. The Squid Girl who came to invade Earth was slowly turning dark. After a tiring day, everywhere way, and firmly told her not to set foot in their home. She was to stay behind and watch the shop alone. To relax, but it broke down after only a few minutes. No matter how much she comforted or talked to it, it refused to work, and she burst into helpless tears, wondering how she'd make it through the night. Then her stomach started growling. She rushed to the it open. Chihiro's gentle face flashed through her mind. If she broke it, Chihiro would definitely abandon her and refuse to feed her anymore. If you're heartless, she mumbled, then don't blame me for being the strongest, and even marking that she had conquered Chihiro. But when she heard the others laughing and enjoying themselves, she quietly fell silent. The next day, Ryuko brought her some precious fruit, saying she couldn't bear that upset her. Meanwhile, the Squid Girl, muttering that she wouldn't be mad over such trivial things, was hiding in the corner quietly munching on the fruit. That evening, Ryuko's house received a special guest. Chihiro explained that since the shop's TV was broken, the Squid Girl would now live here instead. The shameless girl immediately declared that a base without TV couldn't be called a base at all. As she walked inside, Squid Girl wasn't ready to stop playing. She first tried waking Xiao Wu, but he just sleepily wished her good night and went back to sleep. Then she tiptoed to Chihiro's door, but the moment she tried waking Ryuko. Even using the two had swapped spots in their sleep, and the Squid Girl drooled as she muttered about eating. Have you ever seen such a simple, hilarious? Kids saw the Squid Girl, they cheered with excitement. Ryuko squeaked the giant-headed girl and said, "See, you're not that different." But to their shock, this imposter could move her tentacles and even spray ink, skills exclusive to the Squid Girl. A man approached, introduced generously, and even suggested trading Squid Girls. Ryuko, of course, refused, but the offer was tempting. So they agreed on a challenge. Whoever could steal the fell off, scaring the nearby kids into a panic. Later, manager Nanfeng came to Ryuko's store and proposed another contest to see. The fake Squid Girl started a fiery cooking show, but the fire ended up igniting her headgear. Delicate and beautiful. What exactly is going on here? The Squid Girl suddenly claimed she was an alien.